Most mortgage brokers want more business, but the truth is they are stuck in the wrong mindset. So in today's episode, I'm sharing one of the shifts that's helped my clients go from busy and burnt out to booked and building a brand that works for them. Now, if you feel like you're doing all the right things, but you're not getting results, this one mindset shift is gonna help change everything. So let's unpack it. So the very first one we have is you need to move from transactional thinking to transformational thinking, okay? Changing the way your mind works. Now, one of these things, the first one you want to look at with this is stop selling mortgages and start selling outcomes and clarity. So a lot of times brokers dive into this idea of, going like, we need to, we're selling a mortgage, we're selling a deal, we're selling the cheapest rate, and clients aren't looking to buy the rate. That's not what they're interested in. And I see this way more than I would like to see. We sell the rates, we sell the products. Gosh, when you get somebody who's been trained at like a Connells or something like that, and you hear them saying, we've got the best deals, we've got the best rates, it actually, and sometimes it just breaks my heart. It makes me just kind of go, oh, and die inside a bit, because that's not what people want. What people want, as I said, is outcomes. They want the end result. They want the house. They're buying the house. That's the main thing. And they want clarity. They want to understand how they're going to get there. So clear, defined expectations. Clients don't buy rates. As I've said, they don't buy rates. They buy certainty. And more importantly, they buy guidance. They're buying from the fact that you have done this before with people like them many, many times. And that's what they want. They want to hear that from you, and then more importantly, they want to feel like if they pay you, they're going to be okay. And I think, interestingly, that's something that we do not do enough as a broker. Now, how can you do this? Well, you shift from being an order taker to a trusted advisor. You want to shift from being somebody that says yes sir, no sir, and more into the idea of saying, I'm going to guide you and I'm going to tell you. One of the things I say to my clients quite a lot is, this is not a democracy. I'm not going to take guidance from, well, I'm saying guidance, but I'm not going to take kind of like be dictated to by my clients to coach you to grow large mortgage businesses, and you're not going to be taking guidance or like being pushed by your clients to teach you how to do a mortgage when you know exactly what you're doing. So you need to change that transformation. You're selling the outcome, you're not selling all the work beforehand. The second mindset shift you need to look at is what should I post should turn to who am I speaking to. So a lot of people get confused about what they should be talking about, what marketing should they be doing, and this is a really common one to do. Your brand does not start with your content, okay? And that's a big mistake people make. They think that yes, you need to be online, content is king. I built my entire business based on content, but it doesn't mean it is the be all and end all, because content, your brand and content specifically, it starts with clarity of who it is you help and what, again, the outcomes you're after. So you really do need to think about what it is you're trying to do. If you just answer generic questions like, what is a fixed rate? What is it? Then you're going to get those similar kind of subpar outcomes. And that's not what we want for you. That's not what I want for me. I don't want to see that on my feed. You don't want to see it on theirs. It's exactly like that. So be very, very aware that you need to know very clearly who you help, who are you speaking to, what are their problems, who is that ideal client avatar. We speak about it a lot. Just think about it. Now, how do you find who they are? Well, you do it by using something that I refer to as the niche triangle. So the niche triangle is the following things. It is your demographic. So the demographic is kind of data points of who they are. So that's age, gender, job applicant, job role. So what they do. Anything like that is demographic. Psychographic is the other part of this niche triangle, which is how they think and feel. It's their thoughts and their beliefs. And then the third part is geographic, meaning where are they based? So it's their location, geographic location. Your niche is a combination of all three of these. It sits in the middle, and I call this the niche triangle. If you know what the demographic, psychographic, and geographic is of all of the clients you speak to, you're going to do well. It's going to work. You have to think about that. Now, how do you do that? Look at the last kind of 30 clients you've worked with. If you've been advising for a while, 30 to 100 clients, 100 if you really want to go deep, but 30 is fine. Look at those and think, okay, what are they? And you'll find trends. And that is your niche. The trend is the niche that's there, not who you want to work with, but who you actually can work with and currently do, because you already fixed their problem. So you're an expert in that already. And the thing with this then is that then what should happen is every post, every single piece of content you make, without fail, should speak to them. It should speak to that one person, not everybody, and it should speak to them specifically, not a generic group of people in that. It's them. You're talking to them directly, nothing else. Very important that you do that. Which moves to the third mindset, from a hustle mode to structure mode, okay? This is where you need to understand that being busy isn't the same as being productive. There's a lot of stuff out there that we see where people talk about It's hustle, it's grind, it's keep going, and that's fine. But if you're spinning plates but not really getting anything done, which by the way is very common, then you probably need to take a look at yourself and go, is this really a good move? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge advocate of hustle. I'm a huge advocate of grind. I like to work hard. I think you should be applauded for working hard, but you shouldn't be working hard but not being very productive and spinning your wheels. And it's very, very common to do so. How can you do this? We can introduce different types of systems in order to know they're working. One of my favorite ones with this is what I call the lead tripod. So it's understanding where leads are coming from and how you're getting them. Because if you're just going, I'm going to get business, and you're networking and doing all this stuff, but you don't know how you're getting business or why, that can be a big problem. So one of those, the lead tripod I talk about, is there are 3 types of leads: referral, brand, and demand. So referral leads come from people who already have worked with you and then referred. Brand leads come from people who've seen you online and they like what you do. And demand leads come from people who have a need for a mortgage, don't really know who you are, but they think that you can solve their problem and they get in touch with you at the point when they need you. Now, all 3 of these, and I have a video that breaks all of this stuff down, which you can check out, I'm sure. I'll link it at the end of this video, where you can see how to maximize this. But very, very important that you have all 3 of these working. You have a strategy for all 3. If you don't have a strategy for all 3 of them and you're just hoping to get leads and you want just lead generation, you're not going to win them all, okay? Really big one when it comes to leads. The other one we have is the structure to everything. Structure your diary, structure your calls, structure your content and workflow. So what it is you're talking about, the content you have. Don't wing anything. There is nothing in my business that is left to chance, not at all. Every single part of what I'm telling you now, teaching you now, has had some form of structure put into it. Without it, honestly, you'd just be flying by the seat of your pants, and that's the last thing we need. Now, just a quick break. If you want to grow your mortgage business faster, grab my 30-day mortgage business boost, okay? It's completely free, 30 days, 30 lessons, 1 quick action a day to build your leads, your sales, your confidence. The link's in the description right now, so you can get started today. Let's get back into the video. So the 4th mindset shift is going from salesy to service-led, okay? So you don't want to be a salesman. Well, you kind of do, okay? I like the kind of concept of salesman. I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, you also don't want to be a sleazy salesman. So being a sales is great. It's an honorable kind of job, but being a sleazy salesperson is absolutely not great at all. Now, one of the ways you can do this is you can focus on education, okay? Focus on education, not persuasion. An informed client will buy. Now, persuasion will happen over time, but being pushy and trying to make the client make a decision is not a good idea. Actually, what you really want to be doing is getting clients to understand their options and why this is a no-brainer. Insurance is a great example of this, is that when people fully understand insurance and are educated on the process, they completely get what it is. When they don't understand, then they don't. The way to think about it this way is people smoked in the early kind of, 30s, 40s, 50s, all of that time before they were even aware that it was unhealthy. So they didn't know it was going to give them cancer and all of that stuff. So they didn't know. So they smoked. But once they were fully informed, many people quit. The ones who didn't quit, however, they accepted the risk. But that's kind of the situation. It's exactly the same with insurance. Many of our clients are the people like smoking in the 50s. They don't know. They don't know that insurance is a necessary thing. So we don't want to push it on them. We don't want to berate them and make them feel bad about it. We just want to make them aware, do you know this type of thing exists? Because it does exist and it can help you in the event of you losing your income because you're unable to work due to illness. There are lots of options available. These are the types of things you need to be looking at and educating your clients on. You should be pushing education first. Clients buy from clarity, okay, not from charisma. They will buy from charisma to a point. There are many advisors out there who push charisma as their main way of generating leads, and you'll do well. But those people always seem to cap out at about 100 grand, and then they tell me that no one will take more than that. It can't be done. But those are the same people who won't follow scripts, won't follow processes. If you follow a process, you follow a script, everybody can do multiple 6 figures or at least high 6 figures when it comes to mortgage advice. You just have to be service-led. If you focus on trying to do the right thing for the client, everything else will come for you. The 5th mindset shift you need to be looking at is from the lone wolf to the long game. So stop trying to figure it all out on your own, okay? Success is a team sport. So you need to think about this as how are you going to do it long term. And when you don't have to have a business, you don't need to have staff. I'm an advocate of people having staff for some scenarios, not for others, but it doesn't mean that you can do it all on your own completely. Everyone who works with me is not doing it on their own, they're doing it with me. They're bringing people in, tapping people in to say, look, I need your help. Can you help me? That's exactly what we want to be doing here. You want to be looking for somebody who can support you. Could be me, could be other coaches, could be other services, could be someone within your network. It doesn't matter, but you can't do this on your own if you want to try and reach the heights of success that most of you want to reach. You've got to have support from others. It's very important. So work with people who've walked that path, people who know it already, that they've gone through it. It's very important. All my clients like Nicola Huxley, Carla Edwards, Anish Patel, these are people who've all done it with me because they came to me because I knew what I was doing. It's the same thing with you. You can also, if you are feeling stressed and overwhelmed, feel free to bring people in. You can't do everything, especially if you want to scale your business. Most mortgage brokers, if you want to go really, really far, you're going to have to bring in some form of admin support or structure at some point. Depending on where that is, that's up to you, but you are going to have to do it, okay? And play the long game with this. To build brand trust, not just short wins. Every time you buy leads, every time you're doing something that's short play and it's a quick win, it's actually costing you in the long run, because there's going to be some smart, cheeky guy like me who's in mortgages though, who's playing everything long term. Everything I do is 2 to 5 years out minimum. I do not look at things in this year for anything this year. I'm not interested. This podcast now, this video now, I'm not thinking about now. I'm thinking about all the people who are watching this who are going to work with me in 3 to 5 years time. I do not think about things tomorrow. I'm thinking about it for the future. And you should be doing the same. The ones who win are the ones who are playing long game because they're actually already taking the clients in 5 years time, while everybody else is focusing on tomorrow. Now, if you found this helpful, you want to go deeper, then check out the next video on screen right now, which is all about those 3 leads that we spoke about, those 3 lead formulas: brand, demand, and referral. Because once your mindset is right, your lead pipeline needs to be right too. So go ahead, click that button, and I'll see you there.